Today, the House is not backing down over a new policy that requires journalists to comply with background checks.
More than a dozen journalists refused on Thursday and were forced to cover the day's agenda from the gallery. Cronkite News reporter Katie Bieri joins us with the Washington perspective.
Now this issue has spilled over to Washington. Several organizations that champion freedom of the press and the First Amendment are questioning whether this new policy is warranted.
We've seen a lot of different state legislatures enact provisions to put barriers in the way of journalists.
Melissa Yeager writes for the Sunlight Foundation, a group that champions free speech and government transparency. Yeager was troubled by Arizona's move.
You know, certainly we have the fourth estate in the United States, and I think it's a value that we have as Americans to have a free press that holds our leaders accountable. And when you have people making laws to restrict that, that's concerning.
On Thursday, a House divided.
Why are we here on the floor without our window to the public?
When we shut the press out, we shut people out.
Our protection here on this floor is the utmost. It's a paramount to me.
Things escalate, incidents escalate throughout, not only throughout the years, but just this session as well.
This is some kind of.
Let Mr. Thorpe speak, please.
They're sitting up there not because of what they've written. They're sitting up there because of what they have not written, which is their driver's license.
Jeff Herbst is CEO of the museum in Washington, D.C. He emphasized the need to make politicians as accessible to the public as possible.
I think what people want across the country is to be informed as possible about what their legislators are doing, what their legislators are thinking, how the process is going. And this new regulation seems to put new barriers between legislators and the press.
But it's not just Washington that's reacting this week. Over the weekend, the Arizona First Amendment Coalition released this letter stating that if the new policy is not addressed, they could threaten legal action. In Washington, Katie Bieri, Cronkite News.